We have to get on. We have so much time and so little to do. Strike that. Reverse it.
I believe it was the Louvre.
Smuggled in on the back of Tibetan monks from New Guinea.
It's still absolutely barbaric.
Hi, welcome to Comedy Parenting Radio. My name's Jerry Begley, and we want to thank you for dropping off your dog while you sail around the world for the next 5 years. We want to welcome our listeners from Egypt, Gabon, and Oconomowoc, Wisconsin.
You know, I kind of wonder if people from Gabon spend their summer vacation down in Oconomowoc.
Yes, you see Wisconsin t-shirts all over in Gabon. Anyway, today we're going to be impressing everyone with intelligent conversation. We'll be right back.
Are you a failure as a parent or grandparent? Do your little ones cry for no apparent reason?
Do you have lots of money?
If you answered yes to these or any other invasive questions, we have good news for you. Treesock Press was named after a cat.
A very cute cat.
Treesock Press printed a book. That book is available in nearly indestructible hardback form and is printed with non-toxic ink so your little dinosaur can virtually eat the book. If this all seems too good to be true, you can go buy a cheap Disney book that's printed in China. Books printed in China aren't as good for teething toddlers as ones printed in Wisconsin.
What's the name of our book?
Dad the Tooth Fairy Didn't Come. This book is funnier than a root canal on a sinking ship.
I didn't know ships had teeth.
Order your copies of Dad the Tooth Fairy Didn't Come from Amazon today. Or tomorrow if you're on the international dateline. Comedy.
Parenting.
Radio.
You're back with Comedy Parenting Radio. We will be having intelligent conversation with the intelligentsia of the Comedy Parenting staff. We've replaced the normal crew with our most learned ones. Let's begin with Mr. J.
How do you do, everyone in the radio world?
Mr. J, do you have anything that you would like to tell the audience out there?
My IQ, I can count every single digit on both my hands, is how large it is.
It's rather unfortunate that you had your left hand cut off when you were a young one.
But that's still over 5,000.
Oh, Miss C.
Hello there.
How are you doing this evening?
Well, it would be better if I didn't have to rub shoulders with the masses before I came to the studio here.
Certainly. And did you have anything you would like to enlighten us on?
Did you know that in the town of LaCroix, they only have 5,000 million people?
Yes, that's up substantially from last year when they had 499,199 million.
It's still absolutely barbaric and remote.
I hope they get rid of the bus system.
Because only the crickets take the bus system.
I've never been on a bus in my life.
It is just a disgrace to go on a bus.
Oh, Mr. JJ, so glad you could join us there in your smoking jacket. How are you this evening?
I'm doing good, but I could use a spot more of tea.
Mr. Wigglesworth, would you please bring more tea?
2 lumps of sugar.
Anyway, tell me a little bit about what you've been studying.
Well...
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga.
When your kid rips holes in their pants at the playground, when your princess needs an outfit for that birthday party, when you come home from grandma's and can't find the other shoe for the baby, it's time to stop in at Once Upon a Child in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. This store is chock full of gently used clothes, toys, and shoes. You'll save so much money you can hide extra changes of clothes in PVC tubes out in the woods for the zombie apocalypse. Once Upon a Child, located next to Walmart in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. Give them a visit before you see zombies at Grandma's birthday party.
Captain, I must inform you, you're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio.
I have been studying all about how in British Columbia,
Oh, I love the name British, but continue.
that is where they first invented gunpowder. It was invented when a person was making tea and it accidentally exploded in a customer's face. Quite disgraceful.
The composition of gunpowder is potassium, calcium, iridium, and neuronium.
Don't forget vibranium.
It's quite unstable in its isogometric form.
Quite right.
Only when a proper caltropic catalyst is applied will it be safe for handling.
Until then, it'll be highly regulated. Over there on the other side of the studio, we have our resident paleontologist, Mr. Cyanaderworth. And I understand you've been studying a certain species of dinosaur.
Yes, this species, it was called the Araptopods.
Did they have a nose that stuck up in the air?
They had what is known as a strange condition called Tryptonianism.
The tip of the point on the rhinocerosauri is so sharp, it might even rival the outfit I'm wearing right now.
There was something that was recently brought out at a symposium I was at, and that was that the bromides and the iodides fought each other over the territory in what is now known as the Tertiary Buttles.
The reason that they were fighting over that territory was because that land is very rich in vugnite.
On that same vein of historical discoveries, scientists have recently found...
you said a funny...
What?
Miss C said vugnite, and you said on that same vein of discoveries.
Oh, yes. Puns. What a lower form of humor.
Okay, here's your tea, boss.
Thank you, Mr. Wigglesworth.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wigglesworth. Oh, this rose petal tea is simply darling. I love how it was smuggled in on the back of Tibetan monks from New Guinea.
One of my favorite subjects in the category of art is the art of technocracy.
Agreed.
Agreed.
The way people can make sculptures out of bent metal is a bit comforting that someone else in the world is competent.
I think that it might take a little bit of imagination, maybe.
Bent metal has, well, a long and sordid history, beginning with the early Renaissance fidget spinners.
Quiet on set.
I saw those in a museum the other day. I believe it was the Louvre.
I just recently went on a trip out to California. And
Oh, you got an Irish accent now, have you?
How do you know?
Oh, you went out to California, did you?
Yeah, the show's morphing. We went from intelligentsia to shamrocks. Go ahead.
Quite a bit drier than the Highlands.
I was just out in a trip to California.
You look like you're sitting on a cactus. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
Did you know that recently I went on a trip out to California? And while I was out there, I saw hold on. I just recently went on a trip out to California.
I understand you have an obsession with California.
Go ahead.
I understand. I feel like I'm about to sneeze.
Bless you, my
It's
child.
those fleas that you keep snorting. Continue.
I just recently went on
A flea trip to California. I'm sorry. Okay. Everyone, including myself, slap yourself in the face and let the man talk.
I just recently went on a trip out to California. And
He's a lot funnier when his one eye's half closed, I'll tell you what.
Okay.
All right. Okay, yes. James, Heaps. Go ahead.
I just recently went on a trip to California. And while I was out there, I saw Daniel Boone's gun in a museum. I was completely shocked.
Of course, such a fact would be shocking to a person with such a low IQ as yourself.
You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio, and even though you might wish to go clean the oven instead, I'm sure you'll be right back to listen.
Sure, humans can be a little weird at times, but take it from me, I'm a dog. And a person is about the best thing that can happen to a shelter pet. So if you want to learn how you can be that person, get down to your local pet shelter or visit theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck as a gift to Dave 2037, so he can spend it on things like anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman, something cool like that. I think Dave 2037 deserves it. He worked hard. What are you getting Steve 2037?
I guess I was thinking Steve 2037 would just fend for himself.
Well, alright, but don't expect to be borrowing my anti-gravity boots.
You want to have money in your future? You got to start saving now. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Hey, let's just hope Steve 2037 doesn't get his hands on a cool time machine, because he is going to come back here and knock some sense into you.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Stop it now. You are listening to Commandant Jerry Begley. Okay, wait.
Everyone told me not to stroll on that beach. Said seagulls gonna come, poke me in the coconut, and they did. And they did. Had me going like,
Welcome back to Comedy Parenting Radio, and to my accolades. As Susan once said, it is important to know your enemy.
As I recall, he doesn't even know how to tie his shoes in a crisp flint knot.
But he does know how to play the retinal.
With a little yoga mat. Time has escaped us as it so often slips through the hourglass of our lives. Comedy Parenting will be signing off now. We wish to thank all of the staff here today. As often happens, I lose my accent.
As often happens around here, everyone gets Scottish accents.
Towards the end of the show,
We started sounding like the pirates of old.
nonetheless, we would like to thank everyone for joining us here this evening. Good evening.
And they get a little cheap plastic prize from China.